parents like us, growing in years, with a goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace.
Good evening and welcome to Youth Engage, your favorite leadership building program for the visionaries of this generation. Yes, we love the accolades, the comments, and of course, the constructive criticism which border on improving this program you love. Thank you so much. We promise you more thrilling times ahead.
Today we present a Nigerian icon whose life is true proof that old values have not truly vanished. He is a Nigerian billionaire businessman, industrialist, banker, investor, philanthropist, entrepreneur par excellence. He is also an evangelist and motivational speaker. This is presenting the founder of COSCHARIS Group of Companies, a conglomerate with interest in automobiles, technology, beverages, medicals, foods, and first-class representative of the motherland. COSCHARIS is a combination of two names, Cosmas and his wife's Charity. We present a man by every standard, a role model to the next generation, Dr. Cosmas Maduka. The simple and yet extremely humble Cosmas was born in Jos, Plateau State on the 24th of December 1958 to Mr. and Mrs. Peter and Rose Maduka. His father hails from Nnewi North Local Government Council, a city well known for its entrepreneurial spirit as evidenced by many of billionaires that have sprung up from that region. In 1962, when he was just 4 years old, he lost his father to the cold hands of death. He therefore started hawking bean cake and climbing palm trees to assist his mother. With 6 children to cater for, his mother had to enlist Cosmas and his brother in the hawking of her products. The earnings of this family business was insufficient to pay their bills, particularly school fees. So, young Cosmas had to drop out of school at the age of 9 when he was just in primary 3. At the age of 7, he had to move to Ebute-Metta in Lagos to work as an apprentice for his uncle in order to lessen the burden on her. He made his fortune in the 80s by distributing automobiles and their spare parts. He is the sole distributor of BMW and Ford cars in West Africa. In November 2015, he was on the cover of Forbes African magazine with an estimated net worth of $500 million. Through his visionary leadership, COSCHARIS Motors has secured sole franchise of BMW, Mini Rolls-Royce, Jaguar, Land Rover premium brands, and Abro USA Auto Care and Consumer Products, amongst others. COSCHARIS, as of today, with branches in Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Gabon, is also a very strong partner for the distribution of Ford brand of automobiles in Nigeria. Dr. Cosmas is currently serving on the board of many companies. Notable among them are CG Eco LLP, First System Refinishes Limited, CG Biostart Limited, and Six Rentals, Nigeria. He served as a director in Access Bank PLC, one of the leading banks in Nigeria, for 12 years, from 2000 to 2012. He also served as the president and chairman of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation for 16 years, during which Nigeria led Africa in all the events. He led the Nigerian team to the Olympic Games, Atlanta 96, Athens 2000, Sydney 2004, and Beijing 2008. Dr. Cosmas Maduka, as an entrepreneur, plays mentoring roles to upcoming entrepreneurs and is a holder of the Honorary Doctor of Business Administration of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 2003. He is also an alumnus of the Harvard Business School Executive Education Program. On the 17th of September 2012, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, conferred him with the national honors of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON. He is happily married to his heartthrob and life partner in a marriage that both fondly describe as made in heaven and are blessed with children. Welcome to a life of a true ambassador of Christ in his chosen faith. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Welcome to our home. It's a pleasure to have you guys. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome, man. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for having us, sir. Please, we'd like you to introduce yourself, telling us about your family, your background, and how growing up was like for you.
Okay, you're all welcome to our home this afternoon. We are talking to Cosmas maduka. Maduka means man is not God. A name I believe my mother gave me under inspiration. I am the chairman, president, CEO of COSCHARIS group of company. And I have a very humble beginning. Growing up, life was very challenging. And, but you know, the way God created the world, when he had his first son and daughter, according to the scripture, Bible said that in Genesis 1:26, and God blessed them, and then made a demand on them to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. In other words, it's important that parents appreciate the need to bless their children. The guy speaking with you today is a product of a godly woman, you know. So I give a lot of credit to whatever that turned out of my life to my mother, who I considered to be my angel. How my parents got married, my mother was much younger than my father, but they had 4 children in quick succession, under 4 years or so. I was second to the family. And the best I knew of my dad, I could still recollect coming back home and try to get me in top of his bed. The bed wasn't anything too far away from this height, but with the eye of a child, for me it was like a bunker. It was like a 2-story building or something like that. And then the second memory I have of my father was a day I was in our house. I saw my father dressed in a black suit with a white shirt, lying on a bed lifelessly. And different people were coming to our house. It was like a big function was going on, and people were coming with masquerade. People were shooting guns. And, you know, I was running to take the shell of the double barrel and was smelling it, having some good feeling. And people were kind to me, you know, and it was a big festival. In those days, we eat rice only on Sunday or in a festival mood day. But that day was real festival because I ate all the rice I wanted. It was challenging for my mother as a single parent to take care of 4 kids. I had a senior brother, and then my immediate junior was a boy again and another girl. Though my mother later had 2 other kids, you know, after the death of my father. It was really rough for us growing up, struggling. At the very early stage of, before I turned 7, my story sounds incredible. Job said, when I am tried, I shall comfort like gold, purify. And somewhere in the scripture we read that Jesus Christ learned obedience through the things he suffered. Many times people thought that hardship is only to destroy us. It's not to destroy us. It depends on what you make out of your hardship. You can take a stone people throw at you to be a building material. You can take it on other ways, just the way we react within ourselves that affect us mostly, not the circumstances we go through in life. I recall my mother encouraging me and telling me not to be despaired, telling me that I'm going to go places in life, telling me that I am a likable fellow and that people like me and that people cannot say no to me. I was a child, but I believe my mother with very innocent mind. When you see kids today hawking on the street and you laugh at them and say, these children are being abused. I used to be one of them, because frankly, I started, it will sound incredible to you, in all honesty. But before I turned 7, I started hawking for my mother on the street, and, she will get us early up in the morning. My mother was a devoted Catholic. She wasn't a born-again child of God, but she loved God and worshiped God the best she knew. All her life, her dream was that one of her kids would be a reverend father.
This program, Youth Engage, is an excellent program because it can help our youths to develop properly, because they listen to mature people who have gone through so many things in life. They listen to the advice that they give, and you see, it could make the youths better people. It could make the youths, if they follow some of the things that those elders have said, at least the good things that they have said. So everybody should watch this program, Youth Engage, because the people they are using, they are role models, and they can impact positively on the youths. So people should watch this program, Youth Engage. It will benefit, even can benefit the adults as well. So the youth should watch it. It's an excellent program, and I recommend it.
Incidentally, my junior brother grew up and went to seminary school, and actually was almost at his 14th year in seminary to become a priest. But before then, at the age of 14, I've already embraced Christ, and have experience about the power of his resurrection. So I believe I prayed him out of the place, and eventually got married today and have 3 kids or 4. And that was the most disappointing experience for my mother, that his son eventually did not turn out to be a priest. So growing up for me was quite experience. We would grow up, get up early in the morning, go to the stream to fetch water, come back home and just drop the water and start running to school. An alternative would be I would get up early in the morning. My mother would make us pray those Catholic rosary. Sometimes you say we're going to pray double of it. It's important that most of the problem we have today with youth of this day actually is not child delinquency. The problem actually is parental delinquency. Many of the parents are delinquent themselves because they don't even know what it takes to raise kids anymore. A child will always follow the footsteps of the parents. My mother developed my prayer life. Today, I'm still a prayer machine. I can pray for 4 hours here non-stop. I learned all of those things as a kid. We knelt down for 2 hours. I would say as a child, it's not something I love. I almost hate God for it. But if you do anything when you are young, it becomes easy for you to adapt. It becomes a habit. And once a habit is formed, you cannot break it easy, good or bad. Everything we do in life is about habit. So my mother taught me the habit of praying for a prayer life. That I prayed and I wanted to get close to God. The hunger of God was developed in my heart from my mother. At the age of 7, we are Catholic, and we were told that Mary visited 3 children at Fatima. And, I'm not somebody who like to live in other people's experience. So And I felt if Mary could go to Fatima, he can as well come to Nigeria and possibly come to Nnewi in my village. So I went to the bush to pray. And I was praying all honestly that Mary should visit me. Because in life, you can always take stories of people, but when God gives you opportunity that you have experience, your experience will live with you. And I didn't want a second-hand religion. I wanted to prove God by myself. If he exists, I want to know. If you are feeling cold and you are frozen to death, and somebody paint a fire on the wall and asks you to go by the side of the fire, a painted fire cannot warm you up. You need a real fire. If you are feeling cold, you need to stay by real fire, not somebody painting fire for you. But what we see these days are people paint fire for people, and a lot of people believe lies, and people told them more lies, and they believe more lies and make expectation out of it, and they never worked. So if I wake up in the morning to go to grind the beans, I bring it back, my mother will fly akala and spread it in a trim pan, gave a portion for my senior brother and me to go and sell before we go to school. Very early, by 6 o'clock. All this will start from 4:30 in the morning. That's when our day wake. I grew up learning, become industrious, learning how to wake up early in the morning, planning my program, organizing myself, knowing what limitations and times I have in life. Very many kids today, their parents do not discipline them anymore, coupled with so many distractions with the phone, with internet, with YouTube. Some kids will cover themselves in a pillow and stay awake till 4 a.m. Before 6 o'clock. Then that's when sleep come, and they go to school with their eyes red because they wasted their time in the night and they cannot focus and concentrate. But we do all of this by 6, we're already hitting the streets, selling akara. And I go with confidence. That my mother actually discovered my entrepreneurial capability, because many times I would sell full plate of trim pan and go back to stake the second one to sell before my brother finished selling one. By the time we are dropping the plane, we are wearing our cloth, we are on our foot, running to school. So, what is my education life look like? The best I did in a 4-corner wall called school is elementary 3. I did primary 1, primary 2, primary 3. I passed, I took a 3rd position in elementary 3. And from class 1 to 3. I never go beyond 1st or 2nd position. So he asked me to assess myself. I will tell you I have a 1st-class brain. But by 3rd grade, my mother couldn't cope anymore because he had my senior brother and my other 2 siblings to take care of. So I had to go join my grandparents to live with them while the other 3 kids stay with my mother. Coupled with the fact that they see me as a very industrious boy. So there is a whole lot of responsibility and duties for me to take care of in my grandparents' place. While I was with my grandparents, my mother's junior brother had started business in Lagos at the Oyimbo bus stop in Ebutemeta. So he was struggling also, but he took me down to Lagos here to do apprenticeship for him. This was before I turned 8. This kind of apprenticeship, there's no contractual agreement, there's no thing that is written down or agreed. It's ultimate good faith, and you're on your own. So what determines your future is your level of discipline and hard work. If you make mistake, you can be bundled in another motor and send you back to your parents. Nobody owes you anything. So you got to be at your best behavior. For me, you call it apprenticeship, you call it mentorship. And I believe that was the best university I would have ever attended in my life. I used to sleep in a shop at 88 Griffith Street at Oyimbo bus stop there. This year, January, I went to take the picture of the place and also cover it in a video. Just like I was inspired to do that because 3 months after they demolished the place. But I still met the people there. I told them, this is my store. This is where I used to sleep. No fan, no air conditioner, no bathroom, no toilet. We live a life that you can say like very dehumanizing, or like cannot be possible. When I came here at a younger age, my boss, who is my uncle, lived in his uncle's house in Apapa Road. His uncle is living 1 bedroom with his wife and 2 of his kids. So my uncle used to sleep in a passage. So the house couldn't accommodate him. So he can't even bring me there also because he doesn't own a house on his own. So when we finish, only on weekend, that Friday, he takes me down there to do some washing. But on a normal day, because I was too young, before he leave, about 8 in the night, I will get into the store. He will lock up the store. Things that you will not believe that is possible. If there was a fire outburst, I would have been roasted to death until I turned 8 plus 9. So he had confidence that I can lock the shop from inside, so he leaves me there. So that's where I live. Early in the morning, about 5 a.m., I will come out and go fetch water in a public bath and bath by the street. Myself and the guy that owned Chisco, he lived across the other street down. Both of us used to bath on the street early in the morning before the day breaks. So by 6 o'clock, I already opened store. And I see young kids, they wear short knicker, white, white up and down and going to school. And some of them look at me and laugh at me. One day, one of them looking like that and say, look at this rat shop. So, because what's a spirit? Nobody taught me this. I got it. So one day he does that. I make like this. Look at him. 5 years today, I'll be better than you. Look at you. So I laughed at him and spoke back to him. I said, 5 years today, I'll be better than you. I never take no for an answer because it's something that I believe about myself. So I did my best. My uncle was very proud of my achievement. It was during this apprenticeship. I used to go to Catholic church just by Denton police station in an old Yaba road. And one day, one guy came to our store. By this time, actually, before I stopped school, my worst subject in school is English, and it still troubles me till today. So if we talk long enough, you find that some of the tenses does not match. But that's not what is important for me, because what is important is that it's about communication, that the person you are talking to can hear you and understood what you are saying. I never pride myself in my ignorance, otherwise I shouldn't have sent my children to school. By the way, my son is, my first son, did economics in Unilag here, because that's how I learned to train my children. They could have gone to anywhere in the world to study, but I insisted that they would do their primary education in Nigeria, they would do their first degree in Nigeria, their postgraduate they can do anywhere. So my first son graduated in Unilag. His junior brother also read economics in Unilag. Okay, like I was saying, I've made money, and by every standard in this country, you reckon with me as one of the multi-billionaires in this country. But I have a philosophy that I need to help my kids. First of all is that they are Nigerians, and my belief is that to be a true Nigerian, you have to be identified. You share from her shame and her glory. Whatever Nigeria is what you are going to be. So my philosophy is that my children will not only do their primary education in Nigeria, but they will do their first degree in Nigeria. Postgraduate, they can do anywhere. So my first son, Cosmas Jr., went to Unilag, he read economics, and his junior brother, Jonathan, also went to Unilag. He read economics. My daughter is an American citizen, had an American passport, and can never practice medicine in U.S. with Nigerian qualification. But I insisted. He went to Root at Idiaraba and read medicine. He's a qualified doctor today. He's practicing. And then the other two went. Junior went to England to do his masters. Jonathan went to Massachusetts, went to U.S. And three of them are graduate. My third son, Peter, Charity's junior brother, went to Yola American University. He's also American, but I insisted he has to go to school here. So he hasn't done his masters, but the other two has done their masters. They are back. They are in the company. My daughter is a medical doctor, but she today lives in England. She's practicing and furthering her education. Then the baby of the house, Timothy, also grew up here, and he went to Corona School and finished his high school in Lagos here. But then he was very gifted guy, with sports, and became a captain of Lagos State. Fashola awarded him a scholarship.
Contribution, you can log on to the website www.youthengageprogram.com or select any of our other social media platforms. Youth Engage is a teen neighborhood project brought to you by Abraham Oyedele Productions Limited and other partners.